TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Clint Myers. Saturday morning programming brought to you by Outlook Financial Center. And time now for the Mayor's Report. And with me is Mayor Michael Beamish.
I am here.
You are here. Welcome
to
the
program. It's good to see you, Clint, David, and all the people out there that are listening to this program.
Now, we had some nice weather over the weekend, a chance that the UD River Stewards actually got a chance to go out and do their camping. I don't know what you would actually call it because it was camping, but they did it actually on the river.
It was an inaugural event. A lot of good reasons to do it. First of all, I want to give credit to Ethan Smith from Smith Fly. He's a very creative person, and he comes up with neat things. He came up with this shoal water tent, basically, on the river. And then we have a good relationship with the UD, University of Dayton River Stewards. And so we put them together, and we had a wonderful celebration at Treasure Island Park. They got a chance to canoe and kayak during the afternoon, beautiful weather, as you said, and then in the evening they had a bonfire, and then they actually camped out, and there was over 40 river stewards participating in this, and I want to give credit to Chris Jackson from he does wonderful things with the river, and Stan Kegley with the Riverway movement. It was just a partnership. Leslie King from the River Stewards, she heads up that program. So, yeah, it was a beautiful sight. They had tiki torches, and it was, I think they want, from what I heard, I was there. I didn't camp out, but I was there. I think they like to make this an annual event, and I hope we can. It was just a beautiful sight on the river.
Well, it was neat to see all the floating tents.
That's right, and it worked. Nobody sunk.
No.
Nothing, but again, Ethan and Chris Jackson, they combined their forces and their creativity and made it a wonderful event, along with Stan Kegley. I want to give him credit. We had special speakers like Scott Myers from the Miami County Park District, Diane Thompson from the Visitors Bureau, myself. So it was an educational forum as well as a nice recreational environmental experience for the river stewards.
I think I just want one of those floating tents.
Yeah, they really look neat. If you had a pond or a little mini lake or something, that would be a great one for grandkids or something. Now, I will say, we know the Great Miami River is pretty shallow. But we also had kayaks at each of those stations, so if there was a need, they could get across the river back to shore.
All right. It kind of gives new meaning to waterbeds.
I guess it goes back there couple decades when they were real popular. I want to also give a big plug and a kudo and a shout out to our Troy Fire Department. They also, as part of this educational process, came out and did a water demonstration of survival, how they would help somebody in need on the river. And they did a marvelous job, and that was just an added feature to make that day a very special day for the UD River Stewards.
All right. We look forward to round 2 with that. Like you said, get this to be an annual event.
Be great.
You had council this week, and a busy council.
Well, really, it moved pretty quick. We had all members of council present, and that's always great. We had an opportunity to introduce to the council and to the audience and to the community the Mayor's Youth Council. Both the incoming 5th graders, this is a 2-year term for them. They go 5th and 6th grade, develop their leadership skills, participate in many of our community events, and they do. But it's also a time when we honor and share the 7th grade, outgoing, now incoming 7th graders that are leaving the Mayor's Youth Council. And it's nice to have them share some of their experiences of the past 2 years. And then we give them some special recognition, and we did both. We introduced the 5th graders, the new ones, and we also highlighted and shared and gave appreciation to the 7th graders who are outgoing Mayor's Youth Council members. So that was really important to let people see that we have young people in this community, future leaders of tomorrow, that contribute and do things. So that was great. We only had really one, I'll say it again, ordinance, no resolutions, one ordinance that we needed to pass. And it was passed by emergency legislation, and that deals with the hospital, Kettering Health Network, Troy Hospital, dealing with some right-of-way issues, the replat, and we're pushing for a plan development to finish that process. But to move forward and keep things on a certain timeline, council needed to address some of the continued movement for the Kettering Health Network, and it passed 9-0, by the way. So that was important. And then, of course, and we'll talk more about this, but Trick or Treat Night, I want to mention, we're in October. It will be on Tuesday, October 30th. Many people would think it would be on the 31st, and that's Wednesday, but for many churches, that's a special night, so we moved it. And this is a Miami County decision, by the way.
Everyone in Miami County is going to run it on Tuesday.
It's not just Troy. It is. It'll be Tuesday, October 30th, and I want to mention that. And we'll talk about some of the other things.
Now, the 27th is when the downtown, I do believe, for Halloween.
Yes, and Optimist helped sponsor that along with the merchants of downtown, and had the parade, the costume parade, judging.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful kickoff for that season, and thank you for mentioning that. I had to think that's a Saturday. It'll be a Saturday morning.
All right. And that was pretty much your council.
We went into executive session to discuss the upcoming negotiations, and we had no action. So when they came back, they just adjourned. But just to kind of prepare ourselves for upcoming negotiations, we went into executive session.
Okay. Now, I have noticed you brought up the Kettering Hospital. When I've been coming in, because it's darker in the morning longer, and it's really looking like a building because there are window shapes you just don't see all the way through anymore. As the walls go up and bricks going on, it's coming along pretty quick, seems like.
They're looking for a ribbon cutting grand opening sometime in the summer of 19. So they're on a timeline, and they're keep moving forward. You see a lot of movement, a lot of people, a lot of lights, and as
kind
you
of
say,
around the
clock.
clock.
Brick and mortar going up.
Yeah, I'm sure they want to get that all closed in before the winter comes.
Absolutely.
That'll make it, get a lot of that done. Leaf zones collection has started.
Oh boy, the leaves haven't really started to fall.
No,
but you and I have talked about this, and later in the month we'll probably have a visual with Jerry Mullins, our street foreman, to showcase what we can do to help as a community in the leaf pickup when they do start to fall. But we are starting, and we are in the zones. We start with zone 1 and go through the downtown zones, and then we recycle back from round 1 to round 2 and 3, and then we've, in the past tradition, have had special, if the leaves are still there, we go around and pick up as needed. So that's going to be something you and I, David, Jerry, will try to share with everybody. But I think there's one thing. You always bring this up, Clinton, so I'm going to try to jump over.
Okay.
But you always talk about those catch basins.
Yes.
And this time of year could have some rain and things wash down and they collect around catch basins. We try to catch those catch basins as needed, especially in areas that tend to flood over. But I'm stealing your thunder because I'm giving you full credit. You've many times suggested, as part of a community, being a part, if you have a catch basin in front of your home, to keep a look at it. And if we do have a heavy rain and things collect on top of that catch basin, if you could just go out and scrape it away and move it away from the curb and the catch basin, allows the water to flow freely, that is a big help.
Well, it's your first line of defense from maybe your basement flooding.
Well,
you get a catch basin that somehow gets choked out in front of your house or alongside, and there you have it. So it does yourself good to go out as a homeowner in town to make sure that the ones by your house are clear.
And again, I give you full credit. You brought that up, and it's something that I think we can all, and I'm a citizen resident too, and if we do have, and I do have a catch basin, keep an eye on it. Now, realizing that our city street crews are also out there looking around too, so if you have an area that tends the street flood, I call it street flood, and plugs up catch basins, if you just call our central maintenance and let Jerry know where that target area, that catch basin is, then they can target that and help, because sometimes a lot of that is just too much for one person, a resident, to try to clean away. But
right.
If we let us know.
And I'm just talking what's on top. I don't think anybody's going to go out and pull the grill and get down in there.
No.
But that is, you call the city maintenance for sure to come out if you see an issue where there's nothing on it, but it's not going down. And not taking water.
See, I really do appreciate Troy Community Radio and you, Clint, because you always look and share things that we can do as a community to make things a little simpler and a little safer and a little easier to move.
And the same way, come wintertime, if you've got a fire hydrant out in front of your house and, plows and everyone's shoveling, make sure you go out when you're doing your sidewalks, just shovel around that and make sure it stays clear.
I'm not ready for that stuff.
I know.
Let's get through the fall season. We got these leaves starting to slowly fall, but we will continue with leaf collection through rounds and until we can get most, if not all, the leaves.
Yeah, the trees are just some of the ones downtown turning yellow a little bit, and one over on Prouty Plaza has turned, but not really dropping anything yet. You've got your Mayor's Prayer Breakfast coming up quickly.
Well, I know I keep plugging that. Maybe it's because it's the Mayor's Prayer and Praise Breakfast, but I want to let everybody know it's the 36th annual, which is special in itself. We're going to have it in downtown Troy at the Presbyterian Church this year. We try to move it around, and we share fellowship. It is an interfaith prayer breakfast, so it doesn't matter where you come from. It's gathering as a community and sharing song and praise and spiritual guidance and fellowship with one another. That will be on Saturday, October the 13th, Presbyterian Church. We start promptly at 9. We do finish promptly at 10:30, so people make plans. There is a cost for the breakfast, $5, minimal cost, and it'll be a great breakfast. The thing I want to really highlight is the speaker this year is Heather Salazar. And many people have seen her on national TV, but she is the president and CEO of the Pink Ribbon Girls. And so she has a very vital story to share. And so I would encourage people not only to come and fellowship with one another as an interfaith community, but also enjoy breakfast, but listen to the story that Heather will share. And the reason I say that
is we have an event coming up downtown.
Absolutely, we sure do, coming up that following Friday night. It'll be a 5K run walk, but there'll be different vendors down on the square. Again, it's a Pink Ribbon fundraising event. And so we have a week before, we have Heather speaking at the Mayor's Prayer Break gathering, and then we have the following Friday night with the 5K and all the events that will take place downtown.
All right. Look forward to that, too. Did want to point out, I know in this past week I've seen some bucket trucks downtown and going around to the trees, and it seems like a good time to get this work done. they're preparing on past Halloween, on past Thanksgiving to the day after Thanksgiving, starting to get the lights set up in the trees.
For the grand illumination. Boy, Clint, you're really into this winter thinking. I'm not quite there with you yet, but you are looking ahead, and there are a lot of events that take place after Thanksgiving as well, with the Christmas tree lighting and the illumination ceremony, and the lights of the downtown just brings that festive spirit to light.
I always think things start to slow down once we hit fall, but once we get into fall, you realize there's still a lot of stuff that happens right here in downtown Troy.
Including the white stuff.
Yeah, well, whether we like that or not. Unfortunately,
right.
We're in Ohio, so that just kind of comes with the territory. But it's what we do with it and how we celebrate it once it gets here. And it's always beautiful down here when the trees are lit, and love the holiday times.
When we do have snow with the lights, it's beautiful downtown.
It's very Norman Rockwell.
That's true. Thank you.
All right, Mayor. Anything else you'd like to add in this morning?
I think we've covered a lot of bases, and I appreciate, again, I'll just put another plug in for Troy Community Radio. What a service you provide to all the residents that tune in, because we talk about things that are current. We talk about the positive features of this great community and things that we as a community, as residents that live in this community, can do to keep that enhancing for the future.
It's about keeping everybody informed.
Absolutely. Civic pride is citywide.
Thank you, Mayor. This has been the Mayor's Report with Mayor Michael Beamish. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1.